Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be giving you my Leo September 2018 horoscope forecast. And yes, this does apply and pertain to the Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. Anyway, people, first thing up is, well, as far as September goes, the Sun will be in Virgo from the 1st until the 22nd. So the second house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So at this time, there could be a strong concentration of energy, attention, and focus on monetary matters, finances, possessions, resources, self-worth, one's self-esteem, and generated income. Now, given that this is Virgo energy, this could be done with a lot of Virgo-like meticulous attention to detail, but yet a little bit worrisome, pensive energy as well, done in a very analytical, methodical, and systematic manner, and also very organized. You might find yourself organizing your possessions and putting a lot of focus and concentration of energy on it, doing second house matters very perfunctorily, with very scrupulously as well, but also at the same time you might be somewhat judgmental and critical, and it may be with people that perhaps you might be the place you're generating income with, or maybe of your own financial situation to some degree. Anyway, next thing up. As far as September goes, the Sun will be in Libra from the 22nd until the 30th. So the third house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. At this time, there could be a strong concentration of energy, focus, attention on communications, siblings, neighbors, cousins, short journeys, people that were prominent in your early education, assimilating information, and the rational mind. Now, given this is Libra energy, this could be done with a lot of Libra-like balance, fairness, equitable energy, a lot of weighing the pros and cons. You might find yourself be really a little bit more ambivalent and decisive right now, perhaps than usual, but also communications perhaps done with a lot of charm, tact, and diplomacy in matters also connected with siblings, neighbors, and cousins. Also with a lot of Libra-like refinement and bouncing ideas off others, and justice as well. So anyway, the next thing up is there will be a new moon in Virgo on September 9th. So the second house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So at this time, this could be the beginning of a Virgo-like money-making endeavor. It could be something connected with nutrition, with health. It could be something with data analysis, data entry, something where where details are strongly involved, or it could be something where organization is strongly involved, perhaps. And also, this could be also a time where you might just simply embark on more analysis connected with your finances and your self-worth and self-esteem, and maybe starting something health regime might lead to greater self-esteem and self-worth at this time. It could simply be a new Virgo like possession or purchase that you make at this particular time. It could be something health or fitness related. It could be something where that might be just something that might be work related as well. And really, anyway, the next thing up is there will be a full moon in Aries on September 24th. So the ninth house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So at this time for Leo, this could be a period. This could represent perhaps a completion or culmination of perhaps an Aries like college course. It could be something with EMT work, welding. It could be firefighting. I don't know if firefighting is actually a college course, but that could still be some kind of post-high school, some kind of training connected with that. It could be something that could be sports related. Now, another thing, it could also be a time where you might simply become exasperated, full, tired of an in-law or grandchild that might be acting in a very combative manner, acrimonious or acerbic manner. Also, too, this could manifest perhaps in a revelation or unveiling, perhaps of some anger issue, perhaps with an in-law grandchild. It could be someone that you may know at a religious congregation, a foreigner. And also, the way this could work out, too, is about putting perhaps full aggressive and assertive energy into something connected with college, higher education, publishing. It could be into traveling abroad or doing something connected with your religious congregation, if applicable, if you are involved in one. And also being in Aries, it could be showing a lot of leadership prowess as well in these things. So anyway, well, the next thing up is, well, Mercury will be in Leo as far as September goes from the 1st until the 6th. So the first house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So at this time, Leo, this could be a period where you might be more voluble and more loquacious and talkative than usual, but a lot of boasting about yourself and about your positive attributes. There could be about where you might come across more as a creative thinker on first impression. And it could be, too, where you might, where you're really about looking at this, talking a lot, perhaps, about new beginnings and boasting about what you're going to do as far as new starts. And it could be talking about Leo-like new beginnings, such as something connected with creativity, with children, cardiology, something with the heart. It could be something... doing something with acting, the entertainment field, something connected with amusement. And also remember that Mercury is not just about communications. It could also be about siblings. So it could be that Leo siblings might factor prominently in your outlook on life and your new beginnings. It could be Leo, Sun, Moon, Ascendant people, or simply ones that embody Leo-like characteristics. Anyway, next thing up is Mercury will be in Virgo as far as September goes from the 6th until the 22nd. So the second house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. This could be a period where you might be have a lot of analytical and detailed communications regarding finances, your self-worth, your self-esteem. Your mind might be dominated toward generating income and very strongly motivated toward making money at this time, but you might have a lot of worrisome and pensive thinking regarding monetary matters as well, and also matters pertaining to your resources and possessions. Now, also, again, Mercury can, is more than just about communication. It can also be about siblings. It could be that if applicable, Virgo siblings might figure more prominently in your finances, your resources, and possessions. If they're being, it could be Virgo, Sun, Moon, Ascendant people, or simply ones that embody Virgo-like characteristics. If they're being overly judgmental and critical, of course, they could factor in negatively toward your self-esteem and self-worth. And also thinking about perhaps at this time very maybe frugal short journeys or maybe making, Mercury can also be about our short journeys as well. So it could be about maybe making modest income through short journeys at this time, where maybe you're not spending a lot of money in terms of gas and doing maybe doing errands for somebody, and that could impact your income. So anyway. Next thing up is Mercury will be in Libra as far as September goes from the 22nd until the 30th. So the third house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So at this time, this could be a period of time where you might find yourself bouncing a lot of ideas off siblings, neighbors, cousins even, and also having fair communications with them where you're balancing the communications, dispersing them evenly, talking, allowing even mutual give and take in conversation. Now, Libra siblings, if applicable, might be more on your mind than usual and might figure more prominently in your communications. It could be Libra, Sun, Moon, Ascendant people, or simply ones that embody Libra-like characteristics. So, and also speaking more with third house like people with a lot of tact, diplomacy, and charm. It could be, I mean, talking to cousins, to neighbors, people that are prominent in your short journeys, even someone maybe from your early education, and also and also you might be a little bit more ambivalent in terms of, and indecisive regarding maybe short journeys at this time. Anyway, next thing up, Venus will be in Libra as far as Venus will be in Libra as far as September goes, from the 1st until the 9th. So the third house is what will be emphasized and highlighted at this time. This could manifest perhaps in balanced and equitable spending on neighbors, cousins, siblings, people that you know in your short journeys, or even from your early education. It could be a time, if you are unattached, Leo, where you might connect with a Libra sun, moon, or ascendant person, or one that simply embodies Libra-like characteristics. It could be in your neighborhood, someone through your short journeys. It might even be someone you knew in your early education. Also, too, it might be a period, too, where you really strongly value peace and refinement in your neighborhood, and also valuing diplomacy, fairness, and charm in your perhaps in your communications at this time as well. Next thing up, Venus will be in Scorpio as far as September goes, from the 9th until the 30th. So the 4th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted at this time for Leo. Well, this could be about enjoyment of Scorpio-like games with family members, people in your home life, and people you feel close to home with. It could be games like Clue, or like a CSI type board game or computer game, if they have it, some mystery game. And also, it could be enjoying Scorpio-like things with those people as well, such as something connected with astrology, the occult, supernatural. Also, too, if you are unattached, Leo, you may connect with a Scorpio sun, moon, or ascendant, or simply one that embodies Scorpio-like characteristics, and it might be someone you feel close to home with, and maybe also it might help you get in touch with who you are at the core, or somebody maybe introduced to you through from a home or family member. Also, the way this could manifest too, it could be about where you might be very secretive over expenditures that are going into the latter part of your life period, such as maybe a retirement investment. It doesn't necessarily mean you're in your latter part of your life, but if you're not, then you might be making money. Putting money into things somewhat surreptitiously, maybe not telling a lot of people about it, that are dedicated. It's dedicated for that latter part of your life. And also perhaps where money at this time may be going into making a transformation of the home, such as some kind of remodeling or renovation. Anyway, next thing up. Well, as far as September goes, Mars will be in Capricorn from the 1st until the 10th. So the 6th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. At this time, this could manifest perhaps in a lot of discipline, consistent energy into one's daily routine, into the health life, and even into matters pertaining to work and employment. There may be more arguments, perhaps maybe with an aunt or an uncle, people in your daily routine, in your work employment life. It might be over matters connected with the government, politics, over responsibilities. Perhaps the situation with some aunts and uncles may be more acrimonious and contentious than usual, and might even be people that are prominent in your health life, such as someone you may know at a health and fitness club, perhaps. But also it could be a lot of energy really working within the parameters, really at your job at this time, perhaps at your place of employment if you are employed somewhere. So anyway, And also, too, be careful of accidents at this time at your workplace. So, I mean, it could also be a time where you might be putting, I mean, you got to be careful of perhaps overexertion from over consistent energy in something work-related at this time as well, because Mars can be about expending our energy, and the sixth house is connected with work and employment, also in service of one to other, of being to others. So anyway. Next thing up is Mars will be in Aquarius as far as September goes, from the 10th until the 30th. So the 7th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted at this time for Leo. Well, this could be a period where the situation with the significant other, others in general, even a grandmother, may be more acrimonious and contentious than usual. You might become angry at idiosyncratic, bizarre, or unusual behavior from a grandmother. Could be a significant other, others in general at this time, or maybe somebody you might even be involved in a business partnership with. Also, too, there might be greater propensity for fights with friends at this time, which could be legal, which might turn into legal adversaries or opponents. It could be over legal matters. But at the same time, on a positive note, this could also manifest in putting a lot of energy into innovation, computers, electronics, aerospace, something Aquarius-like, with others in general, collaborating with others on these things. So anyway, well, next up is Jupiter will be in Scorpio still, so the 4th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted at this time for Leo. Well, this could be very fortuitous through making a major transformation at home. It could be through remodeling or renovation, like a partition, or it could just simply be through making a change in your home life by moving. Also, there could be a lot of luck and fortune going beyond subterfuge and superficiality with home, family members, people you are simply close to home with. And also going beyond the surface and digging deep, really about digging deep into your roots at this time. And there could be very fortunate for doing that. And also you may have this profound philosophy about the latter part of life, about the end of life at this time as well, and also a lot of exuberance and enthusiasm into making perhaps a major transformation in your home and your family life at this particular point in time. So anyway, next thing up, Saturn will still be in Capricorn, so the 6th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted at this time. Well, you might be dealing with some restrictions and limitations as far as health goes at this time. It could be something that might be Capricorn, Saturn related. It could be something with the bones, the knees, or the joints at this time. You might be also, which might be making you feel somewhat melancholy or despondent, but at this time as well, it may be about taking care of a sickly or debilitated aunt or uncle. It might have something Capricorn related going on, or it could be somebody that might be at your place of work or employment. Now, also too, this could manifest perhaps in gaining structure and discipline in your daily routine, in your work life, and even in health matters, and gaining some, maybe that Capricorn-like consistency, and doing something that could be very regimented as far as your health and work life goes right now. So also be very careful. I mean, Saturn could be about working laboriously. And it could be where you're putting a lot of hard industry and work into your daily routine. It could be at your place of employment at this time, or even of being of service to others. Just be careful at this time, Leo, that, Leo may, have close to that indefatigable, inexorable energy, but you still need to be careful, because even Leo has limitations as what they can do. When you're talking about Saturn in the 6th house, this is where you can feel where there might be some physical health limitation, where there's some work limitations at this time, which could factor into your health, perhaps by overexertion or working harder than you need to. So anyway, Next thing up, Uranus will still be in Taurus, so at this time the 10th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So at this time you might be experiencing some unusual, perhaps persistence, maybe in your career at this time. It could even be where you might be seeing some unusual behavior, perhaps from a dominant parent or authority figure, and they might have this they have this uncanny, like this unusual obstinate nature at this time. But on the positive end, this could manifest perhaps in the formulation of making new ways to make money to help improve your stature in life. And it matters with your career right at this time might be a little bit erratic and sporadic. And also, too, you have to be careful. There could be some something going on that's very unpredictable that might impact your reputation and public image. But at the same time, you may be doing something Uranus-like, which might be might be career related. It could be something connected with astrology, aerospace, computers, electronics, astronomy, perhaps something that could be Uranus-like at this time. So anyway, well, the next thing up is Neptune will still be in Pisces, so the 8th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So at this time for Leo, it could be a time where it could be someone you're in an intimate or sexual relationship with, might appear somewhat obscure or nebulous. And there may be some confusion regarding 8th house matters such as insurance or taxes. It could be a time, too, where someone you're in a sexual or intimate relationship with, or that situation, I should say, may be dissipating, dissolving. And also be careful about being overly unrealistic regarding these people as well. It could be a positive period, maybe making like a detox transformation, but you could be dealing with confusing issues regarding taxes, insurance, and even alimony at this time. And also you may be more susceptible to some kind of insurance fraud or some kind of credit card fraud at this time. So it's just important to be careful at this time during this period. So anyway, well, the next thing up is Pluto will still be in Capricorn, so the 6th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So at this time for Leo, well, I mean, I know a lot of you don't want me to say the dreaded D word, but you know I'm going to do it anyway. In some cases, this could actually be, this could manifest in an actual literal death. It could be somebody that might be prominent in your work and employment, or someone you render service to. It could be an aunt or an uncle or someone prominent in your health life at this time. Also, too, you might feel there's some kind of maybe destruction or obliteration of your health at this time. But at the same time, remember that Pluto, I mean, it's not just about obliteration and destruction, it's about rebirth and regeneration. So it could be about regeneration connected with your health and bouncing back from something, from maybe some serious health issue at this time. And also could manifest in exhibiting more power and control in your work, but also guard against obsessive compulsive behavior at this time. Or perhaps even you might be seeing an aunt or an uncle exhibiting this kind of behavior as well at this time. So anyway, the next thing up I'm going to talk about is the North Node will be in Leo still. So the 1st house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So when you're talking about the North Node in transit, this could be about issues one may have to confront or address. And it might be someone from your early childhood that may be somewhat domineering, overbearing, arrogant, egotistical, or bombastic. You might also be directed toward taking more pride and dignity in your appearance and your first impression, and really about starting new beginnings with a lot of confidence and self-assuredness at this time. And you may have to, at this time, this could be about new Leo-like beginnings, being directed toward that. Remember, North Node could be about the future. So you may be being directed toward doing something, starting something Leo-like. It could be something with cardiology, theater, acting, doing something as an actress or actor, something with the theater, doing something with children or creativity or even sports at this time, something where you might stand out and something that would give you notoriety and recognition. Now, it could also be a time too where you feel at this time, and just in general, you feel like you may need to be more lauded and more praised for what you do at this time, and not people looking at, you know, just the negative, looking at the things that you do and getting that recognition and attention you feel that you deserve at this time. Hold on a second, people. Well, sorry about that. Well, the next thing up. Well, next thing is going to be talk about the Black Moon Lilith in Aquarius. Black Moon Lilith will be in Aquarius, so the 7th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So at this time, well, the Black Moon Lilith could be about what could put one in a strong state of fear or trepidation. So for Leo, this could be about perhaps maybe having an overly, talk about the 7th house in Black Moon Lilith Aquarius, it could be about having an overly conventional or orthodox relationship. It could be about maybe relinquishing freedom and independence in 7th house matters. I mean, it could be over a relationship. It could be over maybe a connection, maybe with the grandmother. It could be even in a business partnership. And also, at this time, you might be seeing that a significant other, a grandmother, just somebody you might have an important friendship with, might be exhibiting some kind of idiosyncratic, bizarre, or unusual behavior. It could even be with someone from a 7th house profession, such as somebody, such as an attorney or someone in a law field that you may know. And also the Black Moon Lilith also can manifest in what? Something that may be unveiled or revealed that you didn't want to come out, but it does anyway. It could be something connected with maybe an unusual or unorthodox, unconventional relationship you may have, or maybe an important friendship. There might be something about the connection that might be somewhat bizarre or unusual. And or it might be some kind of unusual legal matter you might be embroiled in that you didn't want anyone to know about, but it does come out of the bag. In some cases, too, this could be about some kind of, it could be some fraud or some charlatan might be causing maybe some problems for you, maybe in your relationships at this time. So it might be trying to cause dissension between you and other people. Anyway. Next thing up is Chiron will be in Aries as far as September goes, from the 1st until the 26th. So the 9th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So at this time, well, Chiron could be about emotional wounds and suffering. So it could be about dealing, you might be going through some emotional wounds and suffering, dealing with acrimonious, contentious, combative situations, perhaps with in-laws, with grandchildren. It could be foreigners, maybe people you may know at a religious congregation. Also, too, this could also be maybe some suffering, maybe connected with lack of initiative and enterprise, maybe in matters with the law. It could be something with publishing as well. It could be dealing with situations with an in-law or a grandchild at this time. And also, too, just about another way that this may manifest as well, it could be about maybe being overly pushy or overly aggressive, or something Aries like that, you know, that might be with an in-law or a grandchild at this time, or maybe being overly impulsive or impetuous regarding maybe traveling abroad, or, you know, maybe wind up just going somewhere and it really, you know, for example, it really wasn't to your liking, and you face maybe some repercussions because of that, or maybe in a hurry to publish something and wound up in facing some consequences because of that, due to maybe Aries like over abruptness or what have you. But Keep in mind, too, that that Chiron is the wounded healer, so in ways that you might be going through some suffering in connection with Chiron and Aries in the 9th house, you could help others with comparable situations and do so with a lot of areas like courage, fortitude, aggressive assertiveness, and enterprise. Last but not least, Chiron will be in Pisces as far as September goes from the 26th until the 30th. So the 8th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So at this time, well, this could be in some cases dealing with some kind of emotional suffering due to some kind of succumbing to perhaps credit card or insurance fraud, or dealing with a deceptive or duplicitous sexual partner, or one you're in an intimate relationship with, and also maybe self-pity over taxes, insurance, maybe not getting that emotional or moral support that you need. Maybe it's about deluding yourself into thinking you were going to get certain monetary or moral support and you just simply didn't receive it. Or maybe you're having that difficulty making a spiritual transformation or even a detox transformation as an example. But as I stated before, I mean ways that Chiron is the wounded healer. So in ways that you might be suffering and struggling in connection with Chiron in Pisces and the 8th house, you could help others deal with comparable situations and do so with a lot of Pisces like empathy, compassion, and self-sacrifice, and even idealism. Anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment for my Leo September 2018 horoscope forecast. Stay tuned next time, where I'm going to be giving you my Virgo September 2018 horoscope forecast. Two things I want to get with you on before I head out. Firstly, the stars may impel but do not compel. And secondly, never isolate any single astrological element, aspect, planetary placement, position, configuration, influence, or what have you, and make an analysis of a person, astrologically speaking, based on this alone, because astrologically speaking, the person is the sum of all their components in their natal chart and not just one. Until next time, people, stay well.